Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to Midday News on Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Sadia Yakubu. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times channel 276. And now the news in details. Chairman of the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, Professor Abdullahi Usman, has resigned from his position, although it is alleged that his resignation followed a petition submitted by the NACAN board to President Bola Tinubu, calling for his removal over alleged abuses and misconduct. The exact reason for his decision has not been officially stated. The technical assistant media to the NACAN chairman, Ahmed Muazu, who spoke to newsmen in Abuja, confirmed that the development board said the circumstances around the resignation are still unclear. As Nigeria counts down to 2027 general elections, civil society groups are sounding the alarm, urging the National Assembly to close ranks on electoral reforms they say are critical to credible polls. At the media briefing in Abuja, the coalition warned that delays, reversal, and contradictions in the Electoral Act amendment could erode public trust and weaken the integrity of future elections. Kike Loma Okeri has details.
Protesters drawn from civil society groups, youth organizations and pro-democracy advocates converged on key routes leading to the National Assembly complex, chanting solidarity songs and carrying placards with interpretation such as "Our votes must count," "No more electoral delays," and "Pass the e-transmission bill now." They accused lawmakers of deliberately stalling the reform to protect vast political interests, warning that failure to act swiftly could undermine public trust in electoral processes. Addressing newsmen, Labour Party presidential candidate in the 2023 elections, Peter Obi, threw his weight behind the protesters, describing the delay as a setback to Nigeria's democratic growth and urging lawmakers to listen to the voice of the people.
On that election day, the result must be transmitted from the polling booth to the RF.
Protesters insist that electronic transmission of results remains critical to safeguard against vote manipulations, especially in remote and high-risk areas. Aisha Yusuf, a human rights activist and the executive director, Center for Transparency Advocacy, Faith Mwadashi, called on lawmakers to prioritize national interests over partisan consideration and immediately condone work on the bill.
They have the constitutional power and authority to indeed ensure that there's real-time electronic transmission of results. That is all Nigerians are asking for.
We are here to remind them that we have the votes, we have the ballot, and it is us that decides. People talk about the power of the gavel, but I tell you the power of the ballot is higher than the power of the gavel, because without the ballot there will be no gavel.
What we're just pulling out is that we want electronic transmission real time.
Civil society organizations also vow to sustain peaceful pressure, insisting that the protest marks the beginning of a broader civil engagement campaign until the National Assembly assures full legal backing for the electoral transmission of election results. Samuel Odi for Global Television News.
As speculations are on the rise that President Bola Tinubu is turning Nigeria into a one-party system, former senator representing Kaduna Central in the 8th Assembly, Shehu Sani, says the speculations are baseless as the Constitution of Nigeria has no provision for one-party state. Senator Shehu Sani disclosed this in an exclusive interview with Global Television. Correspondent Zahra Nasir reports.
Elections, the All Progressive Congress seemed to be gaining more grounds, but the opinion of Nigerians, including APC stakeholders, is suggesting that there is room for a fair level playground in the 2027 general elections.
Senator Shehu Sani explains that what Nigeria is currently experiencing in the political arena is mass decamping to the ruling All Progressive Congress, APC, which is under the Constitution of Nigeria. He blamed the opposition parties for not doing enough to keep their house in order, hence the mass defection to the APC.
It is the opposition that doesn't know what they should be doing. Check back what happened in this country in 2014. Many people are leaving the ruling party to the opposition party. So it is the opposition party that will make their party appealing, that will reassure the people that they are a better alternative than those in government today. Then people will be coming to the opposition party. But when you're always fighting, always quarreling, and you don't have one leadership, you're always in court, nobody will remain in such kind of party.
Senator Shehu Sani appealed to Nigerians to ensure that the 2027 elections are peaceful. He further speaks on rotational presidency.
My call to Nigerians is that Nigerians should do everything possible to ensure that the election is peaceful. And secondly, they should vote with their conscience. And thirdly, they should vote and support the President Reform Program that is going on under President Ahmed Bola Tinubu. And vote for the South to finish their own 4 years in power. And then after the southern part of Nigeria, both the ruling and the opposition party should present a southern candidate. And then that is fairness.
With the massive defections of governors to the All Progressive Congress, some Nigerians are seeing we are gradually moving to a one-party system, contrary to the fact that APC stakeholders are seeing a one-party system. It's not possible within the law.
Zahra Nasr, reporting for Global TV.
The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, says it has made significant progress in asset recovery and conviction. Board is grappling with funding pressures and rising operational costs, fueled by increasingly sophisticated financial crimes. The disclosure was made by the EFCC Chairman Ola Olukayode during the 2025 budget appraisal and 2026 budget defense session before the House of Representatives Committee on Financial Crimes, attended by the EFCC and Nigerian Financial Intelligence Unit. National Assembly correspondent Aniti Patrick reports.
Addressing members of the committee, Olukoyede attributed improved performance in recent years to sustained collaboration with the National Assembly, noting that legislative support had strengthened the Commission's capacity to deliver on its mandate. He also confirmed that the EFCC had submitted its 2024 annual report to the National Assembly, with the 2025 report expected by September. According to the EFCC boss, the nature of financial crimes has shifted rapidly to technology-driven fraud, forcing the Commission to invest heavily in digital forensics, cybercrime detection tools, and advanced investigative platforms. Moves, he said, have significantly increased operational expenses.
My challenge is money, money, money. I tell you, Mr. Chair, just this last week, we had cause to have a bill, an invoice for just one item in my forensic lab.
The Nigerian Financial Intelligence Unit also briefed lawmakers with its Director and Chief Executive Officer, Hafsat Bakari, highlighting Nigeria's exit from the Financial Action Task Force grey list and removal from the European Union's high-risk third country list.
I also want to inform this honorable committee that Nigeria has also exited the European Union's removal of Nigeria from the high-risk third country list for money laundering and terrorism finance. These milestones and achievements, coordinated by the NFIU, working with close partners like the EFCC and other stakeholders.
Earlier, Chairman of the House Committee on Financial Crimes, Ginger Onwusibi, described the budget appraisal as critical to Nigeria's economic stability and anti-corruption drive, stressing that effective oversight and adequate funding of anti-graft agencies remain essential to national development.
Nigerians are grappling with hardship, and there is a pressing need for effective solution.
The session underscores growing concerns over whether existing funding levels can keep pace with the evolving complexity of financial crimes in Nigeria. From the National Assembly, Aniti Patrick reporting for Global TV News.
You're watching the live broadcast of Midday News. Midday News continues after these weather forecasts plus business, foreign and sports stories on the other side of this break. Please stay with us.
Hello and welcome to the weather forecast. We expect a good moisture influx which will support active weather conditions, although rainfall prospect remains slim during the morning hours, especially over the south. However, chances increase significantly in the afternoon with isolated thunderstorms developing in most parts of the inland cities of the south as well as the coastal areas. Moving into the north-central cities, similar conditions are expected with isolated thunderstorms expected over most parts of the region. Thundery activities are likely over parts of Kebbi and Kaduna State. Meanwhile, dry and sunny conditions are still expected to dominate the northern parts of the country. And that's the latest weather update. Stay safe and have a pleasant day. I'm Safia Sayunusa.
Welcome back from that short break. And in business news, the federal government has reiterated its commitment to strengthen Nigerians' business environment through reforms that make enterprise registration easier and more transparent. The Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, Jumoke Oduwole, who was represented by the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry, Ambassador Nura Abarimi, gave the assurance at the Corporate Affairs Commission Anniversary Lecture in Abuja. Kikelomo Okiri has the details. The Transmission Company of Nigeria has announced that electricity supply will be temporarily disrupted in several parts of Minna, Niger State, as it carries out maintenance on a power transformer at the 132 33 kV Minna transmission substation. In a statement signed by its General Manager Public Affairs Ndidi Mba on Tuesday, TCN said the maintenance is being carried out on the 30 MVA 132 33 kV power transformer at the substation on February 10. The statement said the exercise commenced at 9:30 a.m. and will continue until 4 p.m. and is intended to ensure the optimal performance of the transformer. And on the foreign scene, the United States Department of Homeland Security has announced a plan to deport an additional 18 Nigerians listed on its worst of the worst criminal register, bringing the total number of Nigerians scheduled for removal to 97. The development comes barely 1 week after 79 Nigerians convicted of various offenses had been marked for deportation. A follow-up check of the Department of Homeland Security website showed that 18 more names had been added to the list, indicating an expansion of the enforcement exercise. Iran warned Tuesday of destructive influence on diplomacy ahead of Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's visit to Washington for talks expected to focus on United States negotiation with Tehran. Tehran and Washington resumed talks in Muscat on Friday, months after earlier negotiation collapsed following Israel's unprecedented bombing campaign against Iran last June, which triggered a 12-day war. Iran responded with drone and missile attack on Israel and by targeting the largest United States military base in the Middle East located in Qatar. Israel attacks in central Gaza have killed 3 Palestinians. At least 4 Palestinians were earlier killed in an Israel air attack at a residential building in western Gaza City. Raids, arrests, and attacks by Israel forces and settlers continue across the occupied West Bank. United States President Donald Trump opposes Israel's of the West Bank as global criticism of the move grows. The federal government has reiterated its commitment to strengthen Nigerians' business environment through reforms that make enterprise registration easier and more transparent. The Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, Jumoke Oduwole, who was represented by the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry, Ambassador Nura Abarimi, gave the assurance at the Corporate Affairs Commission Anniversary Lecture in Abuja. Kike Lomo Okiri has the details.
The Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, Jumoke Oduwole, who was represented by the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry, Ambassador Nura Abarimi, commended the Commission for its role in promoting transparency, attracting investment and improving Nigeria's ease of doing business ranking, urging the agency to deepen innovation through emerging technologies such as artificial intelligence and blockchain.
From the days of manual registration to the present era of digital transformation, the Commission has continuously evolved to meet the dynamic needs of the economy. It has, among other things, provided the transparent framework for business registration. It has also promoted accountability in corporate practice and governance.
Registrar General of the Commission, Hussein Ishaq Magaji, announced free registration for 3,500 small businesses nationwide. He says the initiative is aimed at supporting entrepreneurs and encouraging more businesses to formalize their operations. He noted that the Commission has undergone a major transformation over the decades, moving from a full manual registration system that required physical travel to Abuja to a digital platform now accessible globally around the clock. Magaji also announced a collaboration with Google to strengthen the Commission's technology infrastructure alongside the unveiling of a redesigned website featuring an AI-powered legal assistant and a business name generator to help entrepreneurs secure available business name more easily.
As we celebrate the past, we are even more inspired by the future, one driven by technology, efficiency, transparency, and global standards. In the spirit of this celebration, the management of CAC has approved the following initiatives. Free business name registration for 3,500 small businesses to be distributed across the 36 states of the Federation and the Federal Capital Territory.
The Chairman, House Committee on Commerce, Ahmed Leary, says the National Assembly is committed to supporting the corporate affairs in its seamless transition to artificial intelligence. The Chairman added that the adoption of the artificial intelligence will promote ease of doing business in the country, describing the initiative as a step in the right direction.
To an advanced stage of using AI in the procedures that they're doing and simplifying and ensuring that there's ease of doing business in the country. Our role as the National Assembly is to ensure that we pack the Commerce 2020 to ensure that they have a seamless transition into the future.
The reform and the digital innovation introduced by the Corporate Affairs Commission are expected to accelerate business formalization, boost investors' confidence, and further position Nigeria as a competitive destination for enterprise growth. Kike Lomo Okeri, Global Television News.
And in sports, Olympic finalist Chukwuebuka Enekwechi finished 5th at the Madrid World Indoor Tour after throwing 20.38 meters in men's short put against a world-class field. The Nigerian record holder held his own in a meet that saw several elite competitors produce early season by big marks beyond the 21-meter barrier, underlining the growing intensity of the indoor circuit, while the podium places were divided by massive throws beyond the 21-meter mark. Enekwechi performance signals positive progress as he builds form towards peak competitions later in the season. Manchester City can wrap up the pressure on Premier League leaders Arsenal by cutting the gap at the top to just 3 points when they face Fulham on Wednesday, a day before the Gunners travel to inform Brentford. Arsenal remain in pole position for a first title in 22 years, but City's dramatic late rally to beat Liverpool on Sunday could prove a turning point for Pep Guardiola's man. Another defeat damaged Liverpool's chances of Championship League qualification, and Arne Slot threadbare squad face another tough task in midweek way to Sunderland. It's on Midday News. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 at Star Times channel 276. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms now showing on your screen using that Global TV NG. I am Sadia Yakubu saying thank you for watching.